Okay, so good day, everyone. I would like to emphasize and we discuss the topic about the respiration so that mas maintindihan natin yung mga process and at the same time yung about sa deeper topic about the respirations. So if we say respirations, so there is a question here. Do plants breathe? Yan. So, ang plants ba natin ay humihinga? So, mostly sa atin, okay? So, the plants, do plants breathe? So, yes, the plants is breathing. So, humihinga yung mga plants natin. Wherein, ang paghinga ng mga plants natin is through the process of what we call on the respirations. So, how that respiration are proceed on our plants. So plants do require oxygen to respire. Okay, so ang plants natin, nire-require niya ang oxygen para makapag-respire. And at the same time, the plants require oxygen also during the photosynthesis. Why? Because the end product or the end product of the photosynthesis after absorption of the carbon dioxide is the release of the oxygen. So the plants do require oxygen to respire. So the process in return, it gives out the carbon dioxide. So ang merong pagkakaroon ng opposite yung mismong respiration sa photosynthesis. So ang photosynthesis ay nagkakaroon lang ng activations ng mga enzymes through the chlorophyll during at day. So nangyayari lang or nagkakaroon lang ng process of photosynthetic activity during at day. While ang respiration ay nagkakaroon ng activations or kaya nagkakaroon ng process of respiration during at day and night. But ang pinaka-priority ng plants natin during day is the photosynthesis, wherein mas mataas yung process ng photosynthesis kesa naman sa respiration. Pero ang respiration natin, they are active or kaya they are most usable during at night. Kasi ang ginagawa niya, it inhale through the use of the oxygen. So it absorbs oxygen and it releases a carbon dioxide to make a chemical energy. Okay? It makes a chemical energy. So kapag siya ay nag-absorb, that is a natural energy. Kapag nag-release na siya, ang tawag na doon, that is a chemical energy. So involved in the exchange of gaseous through the stomata and the lenticels. So the stomata are found in the leaves. They are found only in the leaves. Wherein, ito yung nag-open and nag-close kung saan ay nag-a-accept ng photosynthesis para makapag-produce siya ng tinatawag nating chlorophyll. So, yung chlorophyll ay napaprocess mismo doon sa chloroplast ng ating plants. And then, the lenticel are mainly found in the stem, in the roots, and also, sometimes, they are in the leaves. But mostly, the lenticels or ang pinakabutas ng mga plants natin ay tinatawag silang lenticels when they are found in the stem and in the roots. So get energy through the process of respiration in which the glucose food breaks down in the presence of the oxygen to form a carbon dioxide and water with the release of the energy. So it get energy through the process of respiration. So kapag merong process of respiration, there is a presence of energy in which the glucose food or kaya yung glucose food natin break down into sucrose and fructose in the presence of oxygen. So kailangan sa pag-break down ng mismong sucrose ay merong presence of oxygen para makapag-form siya ng carbon dioxide and water na maire-release niya as energy. Wherein sa pag-release niya ng energy, kasama na doon yung carbon dioxide. Okay? So, yung pag-release ng energy kasama ng carbon dioxide, that is so-called a chemical energy na. Pero kapag nag-intake siya ng food na glucose or kaya nag-breakdown siya ng glucose food, breakdown in the presence of oxygen, so that is a natural energy that are releases by our plants. Okay, as you can see here, meron tayong roots dito at meron din tayong leaves. So sa plants natin, during at night, nag-a-absorb or kaya, nag-a-absorb siya ng oxygen and nagre-release ng carbon dioxide. And at the same time, yung ating roots, it absorb oxygen and at the same time, it releases a carbon dioxide. So that is one. So our carbon dioxide, our photosynthesis and respiration. So the respiration is opposite from the photosynthesis. Kapag sinabi nating opposite, they are contrary. Okay? Because the respiration, that is the conversion of the carbon dioxide, or the respiration is the product of the carbon dioxide. So ang product ng respiration ay carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So ano yung energy na yon? The end product of the oxygen or the respiration is so-called the ATP or the adenosine triphosphate. Okay? Adenosine triphosphate. Next, is the plant release carbon dioxide? Yes. Plants release carbon dioxide through the process of respiration. So plants use photosynthesis to capture carbon dioxide and then release half of it into the atmosphere through the respiration. So, paano naman kaya, or ang tanong ko, saan nakukuha yung carbon dioxide na nire-release ng plants during at night? Okay? Saan nakukuha nung plants natin yung carbon dioxide na nare-release nung plants during at night? Kasi ang respirations nangyayari lang or nagkakaroon ng process of respiration during at night. Wherein it absorb oxygen, it release carbon dioxide. While the photosynthesis, yung photosynthesis natin, nagkakaroon ng process lang ng ganon kapag during at day. Wherein, kabaliktaran or nagko-contrary. Nag-a-absorb ng carbon dioxide and it releases oxygen. So, ang pinaka-sagot dito is kaya nagre-release ng carbon dioxide during at night because that is one of the excess of the photosynthesis during at day. And at the same time, because or due to the energy accumulated by the plants, it needs or it requires to release carbon dioxide during at night. Okay? So, yun. So, in respiration, inhalation of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide gas takes place. Okay? So, ganito yung magiging scenario. Okay? Next. So, respiration, ito yung kanyang formula. That is the C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6O2 into 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus 32 ATP energy. So, the photosynthesis is opposite from the respiration. So, the roots, stem, and leaves of the plants exchange gases respiration separately. So, the chemical processes that break down nutrient molecule is respiration. Okay? So, more evident, during at night, since the photosynthesis or the photosynthesis process ceases. Kapag sinabing ceases is nawawala or kaya wala siya or absent during at night. So, during at night or during the night, it is very important that the temperature is cooler. So napaka-importante na malamig during at night than during at day because plants can experience stress. So kailangan kapag gabi, hindi dapat kung ano yung temperatura ng umaga ay ganun din sa gabi. Bakit? Magkakaroon ng environmental stresses yung plants natin. Okay? Kasi kapag mainit ang panahon, mas mataas ang release of carbon dioxide ng environment na hindi kailangan nung mismong plants during at night. Okay? Kasi kapag mainit ang panahon, mas mataas ang carbon dioxide. So, mas preferred ang process of respiration during at night so that magiging normalize or mababalance mismo yung process of the energy, especially the glucose during at night. Okay? So the photosynthesis, kahit may init ang panahon or kapag mataas ang panahon, kapag mataas ang temperatura, kayang-kaya pa rin i-manage ng plants natin during photosynthetic activity. So as the nighttime temperature increases, the respiration rate increases. So kapag sa gabi mataas ang temperatura, mataas din ang respiration rate. And consequently, plants temperature increases. So kapag mataas daw ang temperatura, kapag gabi, mataas ang respiration rate, and then tataas din yung temperatura ng mismong plants natin. So kapag tumaas yung temperature ng plants natin with the availability of water molecule of 10 micromole, ang mangyayari doon, more than 100 degrees Celsius ang magiging temperatura. Based doon sa na-discuss natin nung first topic natin sa photosynthesis. Diba na kapag ang leaves, meron siyang 10 micrometer moisture, naaabot niya yung mismong temperatura na 100 degrees Celsius. Especially kapag mainit ang panahon. Kapag alas 12 ng tanghali, anong nangyayari doon? Mataas din ang temperatura ng plants natin. And kapag sumabay, yung mismong moisture content na nandoon sa loob ng leaves natin, umaabot siya ng 100 degrees Celsius ang moisture, ang kanyang temperatura. Okay? So, ganon ang ating plants. So, kaya ang nangyayari, nagiging droopy or aglaylay, Dejay, bulong itimay sa nga mula kasi nga mataas ang temperatura na nasa loob or doon sa cells ng plants natin. So meron tayong tatlong phases ng respiration. We have the glycolysis or the production of sugar, the citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle, and the oxidative phosphorylations. So pag-aaralan natin lahat ng mga yon later on. So in the respirations of leaves, so paano yung respirations ng leaves natin? So in the respiration of leaves, kapag nagkaroon ng entry of energy or nagkaroon ng energy stored, there is an energy release under the respirations. Pero kapag photosynthesis naman, para makapag-accumulate ng energy process or makapag-release ng energy, kakailanganin niya si sunlight. Okay? So oxygen from the air enters into the leaf through the stomata and it reaches all the cells by the process of diffusions. Okay? So anong ibig sabihin ng diffusion? So kapag sinabi nating diffusion, ito yung paghati-hati or distributions of the molecule from the different cells of the plants. So diffusion is the process of movement of the molecules from the region of a higher concentrations to the region of the lower concentrations. Anong ibig sabihin ng higher and lower concentrations? So kapag sinabi nating higher concentrations, ito yung air na kung saan na-accumulate or present mismo sa environment natin. So that is a higher concentration that are present in the soil. So example sana, ito yung plants natin and then meron siyang roots. So yung roots natin, kung ano yung molecule ng air na na-accumulate natin or ginagamit natin para sa oxygen natin, that is not the use of the oxygen by the plants. So hindi yun yung ginagamit ng plants natin for the oxygenations. So ngayon, sabi doon, diffusion. So kapag sinabi nating diffusion, a process of molecules from the region of a higher concentrations. So kapag sinabi nating higher concentration, ito yung natural air na present dito sa environment natin na kapag pumasok sa loob mismo ng root hairs nung ating roots, magkakaroon siya or magiging lower concentration siya. Bakit? Kasi mabi-break down mismo yung molecule ng air na present sa environment. Pagpasok mismo doon sa ating root hairs ay maliliit na lang siya or very tiny na lang yung oxygen. Kasi hindi pwede na pumasok sa loob ng plants ang oxygen na nai-inhale ng tao. Kasi nga, higher concentration yon. So matataas or malalaki yung molecule. Ang kailangan ng plants natin, dahil root hairs ang pinaka-voracious in the accumulations or kaya absorption of oxygen, so kailangan muna siyang ma-break. Sino ang nagbi-break ng molecule? That is the lenticels of the roots. And at the same time, yung bark or kaya yung stem ng plants natin, meron ding presence of lenticels wherein doon din pumapasok yung air or oxygen na na-strain or kaya na-break na molecule. Okay? So, ina-assume natin na yung hinihinga natin na hangin ay yun yung hinihinga din or kaya ina-absorb ng plants natin. No, hindi. Kailangan muna siyang ma-break. Okay? Kailangan muna siyang ma-break into small pieces and that is so-called the low concentration. Okay? The low concentration are found in the plant roots wherein siya yung mismong mag-a-absorb. If yung soils natin ay aerated or merong daluyan ng hangin. So, next one. Respiration in the roots. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, it takes up the air from the space between the soil particles. So, yung air natin ay dumadaan mismo sa space ng soils para makapag-accumulate ng oxygen. Diba? So, yun. Kasi kapag walang air ang soil natin, ang mangyayari, compact ang soil and at the same time, hindi makakapag-absorb yung mismong root hairs. What happened kapag hindi makapag-absorb ng oxygen yung root hairs? So, during at night, nasusuffocate yung plants natin. So, once na nasuffocate, kasi during at day, hindi humihinga ang plants natin kasi photosynthesis ang nag-pa-process. Pero meron ding mga process ng respiration, pero minimum lang or kaya very limit lang ang process ng respiration during at day. Kaya during at day, hindi stressful ang plants. Okay? During at day, hindi stressful ang plants natin. Bakit hindi siya stressful? Kasi kapag normal yung photosynthetic activity natin, normal yung growth and development ng plants natin. Pero pag at night na at meron ng process or involvement ng process ng respiration at compact yung soils natin, anong mangyayari doon sa ating roots? So kapag compact yung soils natin, hindi makakapag-absorb ng oxygen and then hindi rin siya lumalaki. So ang partner ng ating photosynthesis para magkaroon ng growth and development is yung respiration. Kasi during the absence of photosynthesis, meron naman si respiration na magiging backup niya for us na mabuhay yung mismong plants na yan. Kaya kapag compact ang soil at hindi maganda ang pagkakatanim ng mismong plants na yan, masusuffocate yung plants natin or kaya hindi na siya makakahinga. Okay? Kasi yung lenticels natin mag-open during at night. So oxygen from the air in the soil particle diffuse into root hairs and used to release energy and it reach all the cells of the roots where it is utilized in respirations. So meron tayong dalawang klase ng respirations. We have the dark respirations and the photorespiration or light respiration. So kapag sinabi nating dark respiration, there is an absence of light. Wherein, ito yung pinaka-preferable pinaka-preferably ng ating respiration ng plants natin during at night. Kapag photon respiration naman, there is a presence of a light and involvement in the uptake of oxygen and the release of carbon dioxide. So there is a compete with the primary process of photosynthesis. So kapag photon respiration, merong compete with the photosynthesis. Okay? And ang ating respiration during at day, nare-reduce ang kanyang efficiency once na merong photosynthesis production or photosynthesis process. Okay? And then meron tayong dalawang classes of respiration. We have the aerobic respiration and then the anaerobic respiration. So kapag sinabi nating aerobic respirations, karamihan ng mga plants natin under aerobic respiration, ito yung mga upland crops like yung corn, mga cereal crops natin, mga trees, yan ay mga aerobic respiration basta nasa mga upland areas sila. Yung mga lowland areas natin like rice, they are anaerobic respiration. Okay? Bakit? Kasi nga yung roots nila, even though may tubig, kayang-kaya pa rin nilang mag-recover during development ng mga tillers and at the same time, yung mismong leaves. So kapag aerobic, there is a presence of respiration and then the aerobic can release an energy amounting of 36 adenosine triphosphate. And then the primary source of energy is the aerobic respiration and occurring in both the cytoplasm and the mitochondria. So cytoplasm, ito yung mismong parts ng cells natin na na-discuss natin nung first meeting. And then the mitochondria also are one or is one of the parts of the cells wherein nag-accumulate din siya for the aerobic respirations. So ang involved doon sa aerobic respiration is the Krebs cycle, citric acid cycle, and the electron transport cycle. Okay? So, next, we have the anaerobic respiration. So kapag sinabi nating aerobic respiration, occurs in the cell cytoplasm in the absence of the oxygen. So nangyayari lang ang anaerobic respiration doon sa cell cytoplasm even though walang oxygen. So mabubuhay pa rin yung plants natin. Dito kanina sa aerobic respiration, nagkakaroon ng process of energy or kaya nagre-release siya ng enzymes sa cytoplasm and mitochondria even though aerobic respiration siya. Pero kapag anaerobic na yung plants natin, ang release of energy or kaya ang production ng food ng plants natin are found out in the cell cytoplasm. So it involved the partial oxidation of the glucose forming the ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide as the end product of the respiration. So the anaerobic respiration and aerobic respiration involve the process of what we call on the glycolysis. So what do we mean by glycolysis? So glyco stands for the glucose. Okay? And then lysis meaning or lysis meaning splitting or dividing yung mismong product na yon. Okay? Glycolysis in the form of the sucrose. Okay, the sucrose will split into two food, that is the fructose and the glucose. Okay, so paano natin i-define anong ibig sabihin ng glycolysis? So natukoy na natin kung ano yung pinaka-Greek word ng glycolysis. So this is the first and common step of the aerobic and anaerobic cellular respiration. Glycolysis is the first and common step of aerobic and anaerobic cellular respiration. Kapag sinabi nating cellular, it means nagaganap ito doon sa cells ng plants natin. Okay? Nagaganap or kaya yung process of respiration are found out or it takes place in the cell of our plants. Okay? So, ito na yung pinaka-exciting part ng ating discussions. Wait lang ha. So, meron tayong process of the glycolysis. This is the reaction of the plant glycolysis and fermentation in the main pathway. So, the sucrose oxidized to the organic acid pyruvate. The double arrows denote reversible reaction. So, kapag dalawa yung arrow na nakita ninyo, nagkakaroon ng reversibility. Kapag sinabi nating reversibility, may pagbabalik. Pwede siyang bumalik doon sa dati niyang itsura. Pwede siyang, kapag na-convert siya into something enzymes, babalik din siya sa original form of enzyme pa rin kung saan siya nanggaling. That is so-called reversibility. Kung dalawa ang arrow. Pero kapag iisa lang ang arrow, irreversible. Kapag sinabi nating irreversible, ito yung hindi na bumabalik sa dati. Okay? Irreversible reaction. Okay. Meron tayong diagram dito. Hinati-hati ko yung diagram kasi hindi siya kasya for the one presentation. Itong diagram na ito, it is the process of the glycolysis. Paano yung process ng glycolysis natin? Okay? So, we have the sucrose. In the sucrose, ang parts ng cells natin kung saan natin matatagpuan yung sucrose is in the cytosol. Okay? What do we mean by sucrose? The sucrose is the major transport of the photoassimilations. So kapag sinabi nating photoassimilation, ito yung process na kung saan yung energy ay naihalo na sa ibang mga energy or enzymes na product ng photosynthesis. Example sana, yung product ng photosynthesis ay naihalo na mismo sa mga ibang enzymes wherein yung mga naihalo na yon ang tawag doon photoassimilation na ang naging first product nila or ang naging end product ng photosynthesis na yon is the sucrose. The sucrose are found out in the cytosol cell of the plants. Okay? Cytosol cell of the plant. So sucrose is the major transport form for the photoassimilated carbon, and it is both source of the carbon skeleton and energy for the plant organs. So that is the sucrose. The sucrose also is the main substrate of respiration. That is the first main substrate of the respiration and the biosynthesis. Sucrose yun. So, or else, sucrose is the primary sugar. Okay? That is the main substrate, the primary sugar, or the end product of photosynthesis. Kaya tinawag kaninang photoassimilated. Kasi yung photoassimilated, naghalo-halo na mismo yung mga enzymes na na-produce ni photosynthesis until makapag-produce siya ng tinatawag na sucrose. Yung sucrose naman, ito yung end product ng photosynthesis na gagamitin during at night. Kailan napoproduce ang sucrose? Napoproduce ang sucrose natin during at day. Ginagawa yan ni photosynthesis para kapag nagawa ni photosynthesis, ready na siya na gagamitin ni respiration. Kasi kung walang sucrose, walang proceedings nung mismong process. Pag absent si sucrose, it means may flood. Or kaya kapag walang sucrose na na-produce si photosynthesis, it means stress yung plants. Bakit stress yung plants? Example sana ha, merong flooding na nangyari sa Kabagan at na-stuck yung tubig. Once na na-stuck yung tubig natin, walang production ng sucrose. Bakit walang production ng sucrose? Kasi mag-freeze yung process ni photosynthesis dahil nagkaroon ng signaling si roots na hindi muna magpa-prosper or mag-a-absorb si leaves. Kaya si leaves natin ay naka-close ang stomata dahil stress ang roots. Once na naka-close ang stomata natin, ang mangyayari doon ay hindi magpo-produce si plants ng sucrose. Ang mangyayari ay magkakaroon ng reversibility of the production process para ang concentrate ni plants natin ay mag-recover or magkakaroon ng emergency break or emergency wherein yung emergency na yon, yung sucrose na na-produce dati ni photosynthesis mag-go back into other or kaya into the original form. Ayan. Kung ang original form ni photosynthesis is chlorophyll, so dapat babalik siya doon. Okay? Gaya nung ating pinag-aralan na Z-scheme, yung Z-scheme dahil sa stress, babalik siya into original form. Kasi nga, stress yung plants. Pag stress yung plants, yung sucrose, mako-convert siya into other. So, nagkakaroon ng reversibility. Pero kapag nagkaroon ng reversibility, hindi liliit si plants. Okay? Kasi kapag ang cells nagkaroon ng reversibility, hindi naman pwede na yung morphological characteristic ni plants ay magkaroon din ng reversibility. So, ang plants natin hindi nagre-reverse. Okay? Walang reversibility ang plants natin. Hindi siya bumababa or hindi siya lumiliit. Okay? Pero kung ano lang yung kanyang stand or height at nag-stop na doon because of stress, doon na lang siya. Pero hindi siya lumiliit. Okay? So, the sucrose, meron tayong mga word dito na hexokinase, synthase, biphosphate. So, ang ibig sabihin, kapag may mga ACE na nakikita ninyo, that is signify as enzyme. It means they are enzymes or they are type of an enzymes na kung saan siya mismo yung nag-convert doon sa product na yon into another form of product. That is ACE. So, signify an enzymes and naturally catalyzing. So, kapag may hexokinase dyan, it catalyze or naturally acting upon. Okay? It catalyze. So, kapag may mga invertase, synthase, it means nagka-catalyze or nagko-convert into something. Okay? So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng mga ACE. Okay. So, let's start the process of what we call on the glycolysis. So, in the early step of the glycolysis, the sucrose is broken down into two monosaccharide. So, meron tayong dalawang klase ng monosaccharides ng sucrose. It will be converted into glucose and it will be converted also into the fructose. And then others are converted into UDP glucose through the presence of what we call on the UDP. So anong ibig sabihin ng UDP? That is based on your module, kasi meron naman kayong module that is uridine diphosphate. So the uridine diphosphate was released by the sucrose. So once na na-release ang UDP sa sucrose natin, there is a conversion of what we call on the UDP glucose through the process of what we call on the enzymes sucrose synthase. So that is the sucrose synthase. That is a process where the sucrose is converted into UDP glucose. Another one conversion is the sucrose and glucose through the process of what we call on invertase. Anong ibig sabihin ng invertase? Invertase is the use for the inversion of sucrose in the preparation of invert sugar and high fructose syrup. So, invertase is the use for the inversion of sucrose in the preparation of invert sugar. So, magkakaroon ng invert sugar and high fructose syrup o yung tinatawag nating HFS. So, or for short, it is the catalyzations of the sucrose. Okay, so kapag sinabi nating invertase again, this is the catalyzations of sucrose into a glucose through the process of an enzyme invertase. Invertase is a process of an enzyme. Siya yung enzyme na nagko-consume ng sucrose na mako-convert ng glucose. Okay? Ganon din si fructose, I should say. Si fructose will be converted, sucrose will be converted into fructose through the process of invertase. Okay? Or the sucrose synthase. Okay? So, yun ang ibig sabihin. Next. So, the glucose, so that dito sa topic natin or kaya dito sa ating side, sucrose synthase localized in the cytosol or protoplasm. So, ang sucrose natin are located in the cytosol or what we call on cytoplasm or protoplasm. Okay? Each exhaust unit is phosphorylated twice and then it is split. Eventually, it producing 2 molecules of triose phosphate. Okay? These reactions are catalyzed by the hexokinase and phosphofructokinase. So, yung glucose natin, through the presence of adenosine triphosphate, it will converted into what we call on the ADP through the process of hexokinase. Wherein, once na magkakaroon ng process ng ATP to ADP, there is a conversion of what we call on glucose 6P. Okay? So, ulitin natin ha. The phosphate group is added in the glucose or the sucrose in the cell cytoplasm. Okay? In the cell cytoplasm by the action of the enzyme hexokinase. Okay? This is the glucose. Okay? So the glucose is transferred from the ATP to the glucose forming the glucose 6P or 6-phosphate. That is so-called hexokinase. Okay? Ulitin natin. The hexokinase, it is the process where the glucose and the glucose 6P are converted in the involvement of the presence of ATP that converting into an ADP. Once kasi na na-convert into ADP, mapoproduce yung tinatawag nating glucose 6P or the phosphate. Okay? Next. So the glucose 6P is isomerized into the fructose 6-phosphate. Okay? It isomerized. So nagkakaroon ng isomerizations. So kapag sinabi nating isomerize, nagkakaroon ng equal distributions. Wherein si glucose natin and si fructose kasla bingayan na nga or kaya hahatian niya para magkapareho sila na merong 6-phosphate. Okay? 6-phosphate. So nagkakaroon ng isomerizations by the enzyme phosphoglucomutase. Okay, the phosphoglucomutase. So yun yung enzymes na mag-isomerize dito sa ating fructose 6P and glucose 6P. Okay, the phosphoglucotase or glucotase. Okay, eto, phosphoglucomutase. So the phosphoglucomutase ang mag-isomerize yung mismong fructose 6P and glucose 6P. Okay? Through the glucose 1P. Next. So the other ATP, as you can see, the other ATP molecule transfer a phosphate group to a fructose 6-phosphate. Okay, and convert it into fructose 1,6-biphosphate by the action of the enzymes phosphofructonase. Asan na yun? Phosphofructokinase. Okay? So the other ATP molecule, this is the ATP coming from the molecule or fructose. So yung diniscuss natin kanina, the glucose and the UDP glucose. We're in the phosphate group or kaya the glucose 6 phosphate is isomerized into the fructose 6P. So bingayan da, dahil duwa, dahil glucose 6P and glucose 6P in the other side will isomerize to the fructose 6P. So ang nag-isomerize na enzymes is what we call on phosphoglucomutase. Okay? Phosphoglucomutase ang nagkakaroon ng catalyzation or isomerizations of the fructose 6P through the glucose 6P. Hahatian nila or bibigyan nila ng molecule upang sa ganon, during the process of this fructose, the ATP to ADP through the process of hexokinase ay mababalance mismo yung equal number of a molecule. So, the fructose 1,6, sana yon? The fructose 1,6 biphosphate by the action of enzyme phosphofructokinase. So, nangyayari lang ito because of the ATP molecule, sana yon? Because of the ATP molecule transfer on the phosphate group. Ito yung phosphate group ha, ito yung hexose phosphates. Itong group na ito, this is a phosphate, yung naka-yellow. So this is a phosphate group. Once na yung ATP or ADP, or the ATP will convert into ADP and transfer into the phosphate group to the fructose 6P, and it convert that fructose 6P, kasi naghalo na yung ATP and fructose, mako-convert siya into fructose 1,6 biphosphate. Okay? Biphosphate. So that is the end of the fructose 1,6 biphosphate. Okay? Next, we have also the stage number 4. The stage number 4 is the involvement of an enzyme called aldolase. Okay? The aldolase is an enzyme which produces or catalyzes a 2 molecule of what we call on glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and dihydroacetone phosphate. Okay? So once na nagkaroon ng ano tawag doon? Nagkaroon ng conversion. So ang tawag mo kapag nagkaroon ng conversion from glyceraldehyde or G3P to DAP, ang tawag doon sa process na yon, the enzymes that are involved is the triose phosphate isomerase. So, the triose phosphate isomerase or isomerase convert dihydroacetone phosphate into glyceraldehyde triphosphate or in reverse. Okay? Nagkakaroon kasi ng isomerization. Kapag sinabing isomerizations, maghahati or kaya something na magko-convert or magka-catalyze. Okay? Which is substrate in the successive step of the glycolysis. So once na yung mismong molecule ay na-convert through the process of triose phosphate isomerase, it means nagkaroon na ng successive process of the glycolysis, because the end product of the glycolysis is the fructose 1,6 biphosphate. Okay? Kasi magkakaroon na ng next stages. So ang next stage is the triose phosphate, wherein doon na mismo yung involvement ng ating glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So saan nangyayari yung process na ito? So nagkakaroon or kaya nangyayari yung process na to doon sa chloroplasts. Okay, doon sa chloroplast mismo. Okay? Okay. So balik tayo dito sa may plastid. So sa plastid natin, this is a cell of the plants. The plastid found out the starch. So na-found natin or kaya nakikita natin yung starch doon sa mismong plastid. So the starch will be converted into two molecule or product. That is the glucose 1P and the glucose. And then there is an involvement or release of H2O or something na maghahalo or it mix the amylase or the starch into the water to become a glucose. So through the involvement of an enzymes amylase. So anong ibig sabihin ng PI? Okay? Anong ibig sabihin ngayon ng PI? So kapag sinabi nating PI, that is phosphoglucose isomerase. So phosphoglucose isomerase. Okay? So the PI participates in the degradation of the glucose. So ang PI, it participates in the degradation of the glucose and synthesis of what we call on the ATP. So it synthesizes the ATP process. So the starch was converted into what we call on glucose 1P through the process of what we call on starch phosphorylase. And then it releases of what we call on phosphoglucose isomerase. The same with the starch, wherein it releases also a water through the process of what we call on the amylase that converted into a glucose. Okay, so that is in the plastid. So, and then the glucose will be converted into glucose 6P that involved in the process of hexose phosphate, wherein when the ATP are present and it releases the ATP, there is a presence of a glucose 6P or conversion of glucose phosphate. Wherein the process or this process is called a glucose kinase. Okay, a glucose kinase. And then the glucose 1P converted into glucose 6P, and then it will reverse. That is an enzyme consumed by phosphoglucomutase. Okay, and then the glucose 6P will be transferred into the triose phosphate. Okay, will be converted into or kaya will be transferred in the triose phosphate. The triose phosphate will involve or kaya will found in the chloroplast of the plants, wherein it will be converted into dihydroxyacetone phosphate or the triose phosphate isomerase will responsible in the catalyzation of the 2-phosphate under the triose phosphate. Okay? So, yan. Next. Okay? So, punta na tayo sa next discussions natin or kaya sa next process. We have the next process. This is the energy conserving phase of the glycolysis. We're in the NAD plus to NADH. Okay? So, this process is called the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. So, catalyzation by the phosphoglycerate kinase. So the phosphate on the carbon 1 is transferred to the molecule of ADP, yielding an ATP and 3-phosphoglycerate. So each sucrose entering the pathway, 4 ATPs are generated by the reaction, 1 for each molecule of 1,3 or 1,3 phosphoglycerate. So the 3-phosphoglycerate is transferred to the carbon 2 and molecule of water is removed. So yielding the compound phosphoenyl pyruvate or what we call on the PEP. Okay? So that is the PEP. Using the PEP as substrate, the enzyme pyruvate kinase catalyzes the second substrate level phosphorylation to yield the ATP and the pyruvate. So in irreversible step in glycolysis, yield 4 additional molecule of ATP for each sucrose enters the pathway. So the enzymes, so ikon na natin. So the enzymes, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dihydrogenase transfer 1 oxygen molecule from glyceraldehyde phosphate to nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide to form a NADH. Okay? NADH. So the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase adds a phosphate to oxidize the glyceraldehyde phosphate. Okay? So ang ginagawa niya, dinadagdagan niya ng phosphate. Itong glyceraldehyde or the G3PD will add a phosphate para mag-oxidize itong glyceraldehyde. Itong glyceraldehyde phosphate. Para makapag-form siya ng tinatawag nating 1,3-biphosphate glycerate. Okay? So, yan yung kanyang role. So, the phosphate is transferred in the 1,3-biphosphate glycerate to an ADP. So, it will transferred into an ADP to form of what we call on the ATP with the help of phosphoglycerate kinase. So, thus these two molecule of phosphoglycerate and the ATP are obtained at the end of these reactions. Okay? So, yun. That is the phosphoglycerate or the 3-phosphoglycerate. So, the phosphate of both the phosphoglycerate molecule is relocated from the third to the second carbon to yield 2 molecules of 2-phosphoglycerate by the enzyme phosphoglycerumutase. Okay, phosphoglycerate mutase. So once na si phosphoglycerate 3 are converted into 2-phosphoglycerate, it is because of the enzyme phosphoglycerate mutase. So the 2-phosphoglycerate mutase glycerate will release a water to form of what we call on phosphoenol pyruvate. Ang tawag mo doon, pag tinanggal niya yung tubig at nakapag-accumulate or nakapag-release siya ng enzymes or kaya ng food na phosphoenol pyruvate, it is because of the enzyme enolase. Okay? The enzyme enolase remove the water molecule. As you can see, doon sa arrow, tinanggal niya from the 2-phosphoglycerate to form a phosphoenol pyruvate. So the phosphoenol pyruvate will convert into oxatoacetate through the process of what we call on PEP carboxylase. There is an involvement of carbon here wherein yung enzyme na ito will decrease or kaya release of what we call on the HCO3. Okay? The HCO3. So the HCO3 is the bicarbonate. Okay? In the oxaloacetate process, So in the oxaloacetate process, oxaloacetate will convert into malate through the process of the enzyme malate dehydrogenase, wherein there is a process called the NADH will form of what we call on the NAD+. So babawasan niya ng hydrogen. Okay? Once na nabawasan ng hydrogen, malate will occur or kaya convert. Okay? So this process or the malate will transferred into the mitochondrion cells or kaya doon sa parts ng cells natin. So let's go back to the pyruvate. So what do we mean by the pyruvate? So the pyruvate, in the alcohol fermentation kasi, the two enzyme pyruvate, the carboxylase and alcohol dehydrogenase act as a pyruvate. Okay? So yung ating two enzyme pyruvate decarboxylase and then yung alcohol dehydrogenase or the lactate alcohol dehydrogenase and the pyruvate decarboxylase will act as a pyruvate, ultimately producing an ethanol and carbon dioxide. Okay, it produces an ethanol, and at the same time, it produces an ethanol and a carbon dioxide. So sino ang nagpo-produce ng ethanol? The alcohol dehydrogenase. And then ang nagpo-produce naman ng carbon dioxide is the pyruvate decarboxylase. Okay, by the word carboxylations. And the Cl2 and oxidizing NADH is in the process. Okay? So nagkakaroon ng oxidations ng NADH to NAD. So in the lactic acid naman, the enzyme lactic dehydrogenase uses the NADH to reduce the pyruvate to lactate, thus regenerating the NAD+. Okay? So the ethanol is the thought to be the less toxic end product of fermentation because it can diffuse out of the cell, whereas lactate accumulate and promotes acidification of the cytosol. So that is the process of what we call on the glycolysis. So the pyruvate is very important because it ferment or kaya it found the fermentations or production of ethanol. So pyruvate is a fermentation reaction. While yung pink dito, this is the energy conserving phase of the glycolysis. And then this is the process of the hexose phosphate. Yan, yung mismong naka-yellow. And thiophosphate found in the chloroplast. And then yung hexose phosphate naman, these are found in the amyloplast. The starch was found in the process in the plastid. Okay? And then the sucrose was found in the cytosol. So yung nakikita nyo dito na pink, that is the glycolysis process through the involvement of the converted glucose, fructose, and the UDP glucose. Okay? The UDP glucose. So kung may mga katanungan kayo regarding dito sa glycolysis, let me know lang hano. So next meeting, you will be having your recitations or explanation or something na opinion regarding sa topic natin na glycolysis. Okay?